Good morning, welcome back to casa.texpina. We're on build day number 181 today. It's Wednesday. So we've got ceiling guys that just arrived. They'll be getting started in the probably bedroom number 2 and wrapping up in bedroom 3. We got the varnishers getting still working on the doors. So they're sanding those down, getting them ready, getting them prepped for varnish. Couple gentlemen out here sanding down the exterior of the wall cladding, the fiber cement board wall cladding that we used. Also, the regular crew is back inside doing electrical, tile, and kitchen cabinets. So let's walk around, see where everybody's at, and let's get started. Got a beautiful day this morning. Nice little bit of overcast, so it's nice and cool for the guys. Should be mostly sunny, partly sunny today. So we're working on a couple different things around the house. Mr. Ricky is still out here on the side, continuing to work the sanding for the fence grills. These are the last couple of ones I believe they're working. This is second go around. Okay, coming inside, you can see here by the front door through all the grills, we've got 2 varnishers. So in addition to Mr. Andy, which y'all were already introduced to, today we have one of his helpers, and it's Mr. Henry. Over here on the side, Mr. Wilson and Mr. Carlito sanding away at all the fiber cement board. Let's go ahead and take a walk inside. We got the template up for what the archway is going to look like. So this is just a template showing what it's supposed to be. Coming back into the master bath, Mr. Jojo and Mr. Gabby are working the tile. Looks like we're coming down another course here on this side, so they're going to keep working those. All right, back here in the laboratory for bedroom number 2, Mr. Willie has told me he will be finished with the chipping and placing of the wall tiles around this top course of tile by the end of day, and he's finishing up with this last section down here on the bottom. So he'll be getting here started here in a minute. I keep messing with them. They keep bringing in the big radios and more speakers, more speakers. Eventually they're going to bring in the turntable and sit there and start scratching out a couple good beats. All right, moving upstairs into the media room. Miss Emie is already doing her site inspection, and our 2 painters up here, Mr. JR and Mr. Dell, are doing the mud and taping. Okay, so they are doing mud and tape now. So they've already put up the first bit of mud and the gauze tape that they're using. So why they're calling it gauzing, the tape that they use is like a gauze material. It does have, it is kind of sticky, so it does have a little bit of glue on the inside, and they are mixing, they have an Elastomeric type putty that they're using to help it hold it in place a little bit more than just the plain skim coat. So what they're mixing is, they're mixing wood glue to give it a more Elastomeric type of feel, and the regular ultrafine skim coat. So they're mixing that together, and that's what they're using for the mudding. So we're gonna see how this works out. kitchen. Continuing to chip out the area that they're going to use for the exhaust, for the vent, for the range hood that's going to go right here. Mr. Chokoi over here is putting in a 4-gang switch that we're going to use for both here in the living room, the breakfast nook, and out on the patio. Coming into the dirty kitchen, Mr. Alex is still working on a lot of the cabinetry here. Morning. Mr. Ramirez here is helping out the foreman. Second coat of mud over the top of the gauze. A little thick in that spot. Okay, so this will be a little better. And then using a wide trowel to put it on with. So you can see the mixture that he's using here. And my welders are back today. I got Mr. Charlon and Mr. Mavic. What they're working on is the same thing that Mr. Lido and Mr. Dande were working on yesterday. They're closing off the top portion of this attic flooring that we've got here, that we're taking advantage of all this additional space. We want to make sure to close this off for safety reasons so that we don't have anybody or anything going over to the ceiling below. So. Okay, well, I lost audio again. So Mr. Gel here is mixing the mud that they're going to be using. What they're doing is they mix calcimite, what they call calcimite, in this white bag, and Stickwell is a name brand for wood glue in the yellow bucket. So they mix that together. It comes out, it looks almost like bread dough. Very sticky, kind of a light yellowish color. And that's what they're using for mud and tape on the first 2 lines through. All right, audio went out again. This is bedroom number 3. They're doing the ceiling around the edge of the cove ceiling that they're doing here. The recessed lighting will go inside of that. So this is bedroom 3. Look at that, Mr. JoJo's getting started in the throne room now. So they've got the tile just about ready to go. is all going to go here in the throne room. Alright, so we're getting started with the concrete primer and sealer that's going to be going on the fiber cement board. So Mr. Wilson is getting started here. Roll it on with the small rollers. Alright, now it's coming along. So we're putting the concrete primer and sealer up on the wall. Alright, so the sealer was put on and allowed to dry. Now they're coming back with the Elastomeric right here, Elastomeric waterproofing paint, and it does have a goldish color, as you can see. Alright, so Mr. Andy here, our varnisher guy, is putting on a sealer. You can see it does have a little bit of color to it. He assures me that once it's done drying, they're going to come back and sand it again, same like they did when they were putting the filler in. You notice this looks like just regular plain wood. You don't see the filler anymore. The rest of the filler has blended into the wood grain. So he assures me this is going to be the same way with the sealer. It'll dry up and then they'll sand it and you won't see the sealer anymore. So it just seals in the cracks, seals the small spaces in the grain, getting it ready. So another one of the steps along the way to varnish. Oh my goodness, what is that over there? We're not sanding anymore. Look at that, Mr. Ricky is doing primer. So we're airbrushing the primer on the fence grill. Yay! Forward progress. Show you a couple works in progress. The drywall ceiling being installed. Archie and crew. And then coming into the throne room. Mr. Jojo is working his way around the room with the wall tiles. All right. Okay, so we've got the chipping done for the last round. So you know what's next? We're getting ready to put in some tiles. And over here in Laboratory 3, our ceiling guys are bringing down the roof. So they're going to start lowering the ceiling and they're going to put it down here to the correct level, just above the tiling. Okay, so confirming they are done with the mud and tape on the top, or wrapping up. I see Mr. JR over here in the corner wrapping up some more mud and tape, but they're going to let this dry overnight. And tomorrow they will come in and sand it all down so it's all smooth. Get rid of some of the excess in the center sections. Looking good. All right, so here's the completed sample after the first coat of the Elastomeric primer. So the paint will actually look very similar to this, same color, just another layer. But this is the color we're going after. In lavatory for bedroom number 2, I don't think we're going to get the last row of tile up today because they just put the plaster coat in and it has to dry. So we'll catch these tomorrow morning. However, we did get the ceiling lowered in the lavatory for bedroom number 3, so it's down to the proper height now. All right, it's Yabba Dabba Doo time. Guys are headed out, getting ready to wrap up and go home. Busy day today, had lots of things going on. Main important thing that we focused on most of the day was the change in methods for the drywall ceilings, how they're closing up these grooves that are in, or the spaces that are in the middle up here. So we asked them to do the typical mud and tape that we're used to seeing in the western US or in the western states. We used to see those. So that's what we were looking at, and that's what they started with this morning. So I showed you all that process going through. Other than that, we had everybody in here, ceiling guys, welders, electricians, the whole nine. So if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen and you'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless.